From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big day here on Home LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. In today's recording, we go over the routing times for your fourth stimulus $80,000 check that has been landing. We go over the routing times for that MSC. $15,000 to $80,000. No, actually a lot more. Average view of this channel getting $2,000 a month for 12 months. We'll go over the routing time for SS300. Then we'll go over the routing time for 6 stimulus heating up in April. Then the routing time for 7 stimulus heating up in May. We have a lot of checks to go over in today's recording. We're going to go over the delivery dates, what you need to know, and how you get these huge sums of checks. Then it's home edition. In the second half of this video, guess what? I have Ukrainian bread on set. You're not kidding me? I am not kidding you. As 6 stimulus is all about the wheat and grain industry, guess what I'm bringing to set? The wheat and grain of Ukrainian bread. It's Ukrainian bread. Is it made in Ukraine and imported in the United States? I do not know. I'm going to learn into today's recording. We're going to watch it together, and I'm going to figure out whether it was made in Ukraine imported, or if it just made in the Ukrainian style and sold here domestically. I was preparing to go on set for today's recording, and I was going to talk about cookies, but then I said, hey, it's I Stand With Ukraine edition, and I got some Ukrainian bread, so what could be even better? Also, the second half of this video, always about your big money, food, deliciousness, and beauty. We're going to go over those flowers for the Easter area. Yeah, you're getting ready for Easter. We're getting ready with the meals. We're going to also get ready with the flowers. You see a new series of wonderful flowers behind me that have been added in the last 24 hours, but I got another one offset. I'm going to show you to you in the second half of this video. Plus, at the very end of this video, we have a big laugh for you and I to have together. Oh, it's a big laugh, so get ready. Get your tissue, because you're going to be crying on this one. It's funny. So Lauren will be jealous as well. And with that, it's a big day. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, we're going to go over your big routing times, delivery dates for those 4th stimulus checks, 3rd stimulus checks, and more. We'll have a preview of tonight's Evenings LA broadcast and prime time and all the big money at issue, stagflation, mortgage implosion, and the growing situation about recessionary concerns across the board. It's a big day, and the details start right now as home edition. I stand with Ukraine heats up from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Let's get to it. The excitement starts right now. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're good. It is home edition. I stand with Ukraine. We're going to go over the breaking details about your big money. We're going to go over the routing times of those 4th stimulus checks, the routing times of those MSCs, and the routing times for all the other checks at issue. Recessionary concerns, inflationary concerns, also going to be covered in the first half of this video. The second half of this video, we're going to go over how to prepare for Easter and the big deliciousness at issue. And guess what? From the shores of Ukraine as day 35 of the Russian-Ukraine war barrels on. I have Ukrainian bread on set. I'm not kidding you. It's deliciousness. And we'll go over the latest details of that plus those flowers for the Easter weekend. And the meals for the Easter weekend. We're going to go over those details and more. It's a big broadcast. I'm excited you're here. And if you're new to Home LA, the first half of this video is about your money. The second half of this video is about your home. All right, let's go over the incredible details right now. Routing times. When are checks landed? Well, 4th stimulus checks have already landed. Have you got to it? If you have, congratulations. Let's go over the details. The President of the United States, 5 Fridays ago, this coming Friday, passed a law. He did it in the executive branch. He did not need Congress. And it's a 4th stimulus law. It is a $80,000 check. The payout is $15,000 to $80,000, but it's hovering on the $80,000 range. The routing time is about 1 week after you get that application in. Let's go over all the incredible details of what this money is and how you get it. It is a 4th stimulus add-on. It is not the Build Back Better bill. It's not in Congress. This is done by the president. He doesn't need Congress for it. He made a law 5 Fridays ago, this coming Friday, and it's called the Homeowners Grant. And the viewership of this channel has gotten, if you haven't gotten it yet, and you just became a member, congratulations. If you're not a member, become a member. The link's at the top of the channel in the pinned comment. Let's go over the details of this check. And first, we're going to start with the routing times. First, if you got the application in in the last 2-3 weeks, and it says approved, you get funded in about a week. Now it's almost week 5, so you're going to have to start to add extra days on the routing time, because every day that passes, they get more applications on file, and it gets slowed down. So then as we approach week 8, it could be potentially 2 weeks of routing time. Week 9, it could be potentially 3 weeks of routing time. So the less number of applications in, the quicker to get funded. All right, let's go over the incredible money at issue. It is $15,000 to $80,000 per household. So if the household has 4, you don't double or triple or quadruple it. The income qualification is the same as a third stimulus check. Single individual, $75,000 or less, you get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, you can get it. Family of 4, yes, you can get it. And if you're on benefits, you can get it. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Rural Benefits, Veterans Benefits. What is it? It is for homeowners. So if you own a home, congratulations, this is for you. If you rent, stay with me because I got your check coming up next. It's called for purposes of recording the homeowner's grant, but to actually get the complete name and to get the application, become a member. The link is at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. In that membership newsletter, you open it up, and it first features the price of gasoline today, the price of wheat and grain, and then immediately features the full name of the homeowner's grant. Then it features the income qualification we just went over. Then it features the items that it pays for, like home repairs. Incredible sums of money. And the other items all feature in this letter. Then, of course, it features everything else you need to know to get funded. And finally, the application. It's online. And sends you the link in the newsletter to go right to the application, first to the federal site, and then it routes you to your state. So what's important to understand is that every day that passes, there's thousands of people getting a line in front of you because this program is now live for 5 weeks. You may have not heard about this anywhere else except this channel because it was not covered anywhere else. It was announced by the president very quietly. 5 Fridays ago, I immediately featured in the newsletter for members of this channel. Purple Power pounces. The viewership of this channel, members pounce and immediately got their applications in. And they got funded. They got funded about 1 week after approval. Now, once you submit the application, it says approved, and then you wait, and then you get the check. Viewers are averaging on the high end, the 66,000 to 80,000. And once you get it in approved, then you wait. Now, those initial viewers got it within about a week. We're approaching 5 weeks by the end of this week. So you may want to add a few extra days because now it's been 5 weeks of people in front of you if you haven't applied yet. Then as we go out more weeks, let's say we go out to week 6 or week 7 or week 8, you may have to add in a week and a half to get the funding across the board. Now, ultimately, remember, the funds will run out, so you don't want to wait around. So what do? You become a member. The link's at the top of the channel, the pinned comment. Become a member right today. Get that application file. That membership newsletter delivered Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alerts, not by email, not by Weibo check, or not by Dancing Lobster. You open the email and you click the link and you go right in and get those big sums of money. Now, the next check, which is really incredible, is that MSC checks, which have now started to land. Viewers have gotten it. And how do you do that? Let's go over the details of it right now. First, who is this for? It's for all of you, for both renters and homeowners. Yes, you can get this again, homeowners. And the average payout is $2,000 a month for 12 months. Wow. Now, what is this? This is a third stimulus. If you got a third stimulus check, which you probably did, $1,400, you can get this in addition to it. If you're waiting for fourth stimulus for Build Back Better Act, you can get this in addition to what happens in the future. Let's go over the details. The average payout is $2,000 a month for 12 months for the viewers. Now, many viewers have got a lot more than that. A lot more. And if you rent, you own, you can get it. I had one viewer who is on SSI, and he got $66,000 plus on this in no less than 7 days ago. I think it was like 3 days ago. So yes, all of you on benefits, SSI, SSDI, veterans, retirees, you can get all these sums of money. This again is like the fourth stimulus. You have to do something with your fingers and your hands and your telephone, your pen and paper. You have to do something. You're going to reach out to 6 places. If you're not a member, and if you are a member, you're going to reach out to about 11 places to get these big sums of money. And once you get the first one approved, you likely get paid in about a week and then paid every month thereafter, automatic. But you don't want to stop if you get one approved because you want to get as many approved as possible. We use Johnny as our example. Johnny got started on a Monday, and by Wednesday he got $45,000 approved from 3 programs. But I always tell viewers, don't stop, keep on pushing. He got by Friday 8 programs approved. So he went from 3 to 8 programs approved. Johnny made about 15 to 16 phone calls, which is what you want to do because you have about a 50% rejection rate. And now Johnny's getting those checks every month. We have Maria Ramirez, we have countless viewers who are getting a check every month automatically once you get approved. And many viewers are getting 8 months, 10 months, 12 months. Some viewers are getting $150,000 over 4 years of checks. Yes, you're not mishearing me right. This is absolutely enormous. So where do you get these big sums of money? First, if you're a member, go into the membership newsletter because the membership newsletter does this even better than non-members. It features the 6 places I'm going to show you plus the 5 nonprofits. So it gives you more places to call up and more sums of money. That's why Johnny did so well because he called all of them. You want to reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your city hall, your city housing authority, county hall, your county housing authority, and finally your state hall and your state house authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. Those are the key words. Now you want to do multiple applications everywhere and you want to get these big sums of money. Viewers are not getting 3 to 4 months of rent on these items anymore. Now they're getting upwards of an entire year. So get those big sums of money. It's all featured in the membership newsletter. So if you are a member, go down on there. It's under third stimulus. And it goes over those keywords and everything you need to know. Again, the rounding times on these are, once you get approved, you generally get funded for each program at a time within about a week. And then a check comes on a regular basis per month. Now, let's turn to the next checks, those next stimulus checks. When are their routing times? The one that is clearly set in stone from Ron Klain, the President's Chief of Staff, is that May 2nd date. The President of the United States, via Ron Klain, as Chief of Staff, confirms that the President will determine the fate of 7 stimulus. That 7th stimulus is student loan debt forgiveness. That will be decided by May 2nd. 3 permutations, 3 possibilities. 1, currently your debts do not have to be repaid because they're on frozen mode because of the pandemic. You didn't have to pay debts during COVID. The president may extend the deadline, which is expiring May 2nd, saying, I'm going to extend the deadline so you don't have to pay for another, 6 months, 8 months. Or, that's number 1. Number 2, he may lift the deadline, so saying, start paying me back. I'm not going to give you any help. Or number 3, he's going to say, I'm going to forgive your student loan debts. And I think it's either forgive the student loan debts or the extension of the moratorium. That's by May 2nd. The latest details featured on tonight's Evening Daylight in prime time. It goes into this details exceptionally and goes over the analysis of the people at close to the president's ear. They're saying he can do it. He knows he can do it. Forgive the student loan debt and think that he will do it. So that's featured tonight on Evening Daylight. That is May 2nd, your 7th stimulus student loan debt forgiveness. The next date, which is really fascinating, is that 6th stimulus. This is not an etched in stone date like 7th stimulus. This is not etched in stone. That is 6th stimulus, the biggest stimulus package you've ever seen in the history of the channel. This is to prevent recession. And it's Putin-caused stimulus. It is to solve the situation about oil, to solve the situation about natural gas, solve the situation about wheat, grain, soybeans, all surging out of control, and to deal with the situation of potential bank implosion in the United States if they have big exposure to Russian debt. That is an April 4th deadline, but boy, folks, you have to tune into Evenings LA tonight in prime time because at that 7 o'clock show, I'm going to go over what one of the 3 countries behind the 6th stimulus package said today. It's very confusing. It's very confusing. And I have the latest details on that. That is, of course, early April. Why is it early April? Because we're looking for Macron, the president of France, to see whether he gets reelected in early April. Then we have the trifecta in line. Macron, Biden, and the Chancellor of Germany, Scholz. Wow. That is 6 stimulus. Now, let's go to Build Back Better bill. Not law, bill, sitting in the Senate. When would that go to a potential vote and finality? I think in the next 30 days it's possible, but again, we don't have an etched in stone date on that. Joe Manchin, a series of new comments over the weekend, says he wanted to get this done, and that would pay about $15,000 to $80,000. The routing time to get them after that would be about another, 2-3 weeks. Then, CR for stimulus. The president says he's going to come back and do another CR. Haven't seen it yet. That we don't have deadline timelines on it at all. SS300 is where it gets really fascinating. This is to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, lifetime, and not just for 1 month. Approximately $300, first $200 now and another $100 later this year. You want Joe to make the swap from COLA to inflation right now. I haven't said this before, and I'm going to say it for the first time, and perhaps the only time right now. He put this as his presidential platform, and then he put it as presidential platform to swap COLA for inflation. Inflation is at its highest price point of a generation right now, 8%. Last December, 8%. January, last 8%. The 10-year Treasury note featured on primetime tonight on Eden's LA signals that maybe even higher than 8%. I got to tell you, I would take my notes on set and slam them. If he waits to do this when inflation goes down to 1%, that would just be incomprehensible, because your highest price point now, do the swap now. Don't do the swap after inflation goes down, because everyone's watching the situation. And how does this work? Once your benefits raise up, they stay up there indefinitely, a lifetime. That's where inflation is tracking right now. So this needs to be done in March or early April, the latest, late April. By May, it gets very, very strange, confusing. And there you go. How do you get these big sums of money? First, the four stimulus, the $15,000 to $80,000 checks, you need to pounce and get them. The MSC checks, you need to pounce and get them. Every viewer of this channel qualifies for either the MSC third stimulus checks or the fourth stimulus checks, or both. You all qualify for them. The only case in which you don't qualify for them is you make more than $75,000 a person, individual, or $150,000 a married couple. Now, what's important to understand is that the landscape of where we are now is that you want to grab checks when they're available. I had a very nice laugh with a viewer in one of the live chats last night. I think it was the Evening's Countdown show. And the viewer asked me about one of the other. Oh, I know what it was. It was a great question. It was a great question, but I also found it funny. The viewer said, hey, LA, in the Build Back Better Act bill, Maxine Waters has the money for the home purchases. I'm now a renter. If I get the renting money now for MSC, does it negate the home purchases? No, later. I said, no. I will always tell you if something negates something else. We've rarely had that on this channel. I think one time in nearly a year and a half, I had one provision where you get this and you can't get something else. I said, moreover, would you like $2,000 a month for 12 months right now and get it now? Or would you like to just wait around for Build Back Better Act to maybe happen? Yeah, you get checks when they're available. So you don't wait around for a potential future check. You get a check when it's available right now. In the second half of this video, we're going to have a preview of tonight's Evening's LA broadcast on prime time, and we're going to have Ukrainian bread. Ukrainian bread, how a better way to prepare for Easter than Ukrainian bread. I stand with Ukraine, and apparently I stand with the bread because I have it right next to me. Is it made in Ukraine or is it made in the United States? We'll go over the latest details on that. It is a surprise to me. Again, I was preparing to go on set to talk about the flowers of Easter, which I will be talking about that in the second half of this video. And then we're going to have a laugh. It's a laugh about money. It's a laugh about you, it's a laugh about mindset, and it's a laugh about going forward and being financially independent. It's a big second half, and if you have questions about anything I just covered, get them ready. Post them in the live chat, because I'm going to be answering them in the second half. It's a big live interactive version of our new revamped show, coming back to its original core. You may have liked it last Christmas when we did the Santa on the surfboard for the Santa stimulus. Well, we're back on board for preparing for Easter, but also with those big checks. First, here's a little bit about the community page for members. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you have questions about all these incredible checks, drop in the live chat. I'll answer them after the commercial break. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. See you back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues in the big second half of Home Edition LALATE. Hope you're good and safe. It's a beautiful day, and we're counting down the days to Easter. 35 days now into the Ukrainian-Russian war, and no end in sight. Of course, Vladimir Putin keeps on playing that game that maybe he's ending. I don't buy anything he says, but I did buy some Ukrainian bread overnight, and I didn't know I did it. Isn't that interesting? When you're about to prepare to go on set and you're trying to grab props, and you're like, oh, there's some Ukrainian bread in my hand. Where did that come from? So we got that coming up in the second half of this video. Let's prepare for that Easter. You're turning around the corner, and Easter's just around. And I think it was 3 days ago, we asked, what is your favorite Easter meal? And what do you think is sort of not appropriate for Easter? So if you're in the live chat, let's ask that question again. What is your favorite Easter meal, and what do you think is not appropriate for Easter? Last time we had some fascinating answers. One person did double-baked potatoes, which I've never heard of. I learned something every day. And then we had a lot of people said turkey is not appropriate for Easter. It is just, it's a little bit too basic. Is fast food too basic for Easter? I don't know. I'll eat fast food any day. So what is your favorite Easter meal, and what is too basic for Easter? Let's go to bread. I was in the, yesterday, if you watched this channel, which I think you did. If you didn't, go watch it. You can still watch it on the channel. I had a live feed on location from the beaches of Southern California. But before I did, I was on the market. And I was grabbing bread, and I looked down, and there was Russian bread. It was not selling. Guy. Now let's make it clear. It's not imported bread from Russia. It's just in the Russian style. It was not selling. So I said, Russian bread. I am not buying Russian bread. So no offense. So then I looked to the side, and then it said another type of bread. I said, okay, I'll grab that one. So I grabbed it because I didn't see the word Russia. And then I'm prepared to go on set, and then I was about to talk about cookies, actually. I was going to grab cookies, which were right next to us, and I looked and said, does that say Ukraine? And it does say Ukraine. It's Ukrainian black bread. And I think Dragon, during the commercial break, said, is it this certain type of Ukrainian bread? Yeah. Dragon knows, like, the species and the genre of every bread ever made. He's just brilliant, just a brilliant person. But no, it just says Ukrainian black bread. Here it is. Here it is. Let's get it close to the camera so you can see. Doesn't that look beautiful? I mean, the imagery could be a French bread. I mean, the picture of the front, maybe they just sort of swap it out for every type of bread. So where is it made? What part? Is it made in Odessa? Is it made, what part of the Black Sea is it made? Oh, it's made in Panorama City, California. It's made in Panorama City, California, which is not really Vladimir Putin's interest. Vladimir Putin is not interested in Panama City, or Panorama City, whether it's Florida, California. This is from Panorama City, not Panoramas, the other one. And so, what are the ingredients on this? Why does it make it Ukrainian bread? I'm trying to look at the ingredients and see if there's any inside. No, there's no inside. It's just it just has unbleached, unbromatic, enriched bread, whole wheat, rye bread, water, yeast, and salt. Ugh, fascinating. And that's Ukrainian bread, or maybe not. I would have liked. Maybe I should have done in retrospect. I should have bought the Russian bread and the Ukrainian bread and compared the ingredients, and then seen, are they really the same? Minutes ago, the President of the United States just got off the phone with the President of Ukraine, and we're giving another $500 million of military aid, military equipment. I don't. Let me go over something about that, which is important to understand, because I often see the comments. People, not often, now and then, people think that we're sending cash to Ukraine. We're not sending cash to Ukraine. We're sending military items to Ukraine. So stuff we already have, sitting on in storage somewhere. But just 2 days ago, I featured on this channel that the president is asking for $31 billion more in defense spending. So, you know, is this for anything in Ukraine? Well, 6.9 billion of it is to provide assistance to NATO, Ukraine, and counter-aggression. So he wants $6.9 billion of U.S. funds to be used for military allocations. Let me go over those numbers with you because it's important to understand. Sometimes the White House is clear on this, sometimes the White House is not clear on this. In the past, it's been equipment we already have sitting around, we're just sending it over there. So it's not like it's not like we're grabbing a wad of cash from the Department of Treasury and mailing them checks in the mail. No, we're actually grabbing some equipment, sending them equipment. But when I see that the president's asking, this is where it's different. When I see the president's asking on March 28th for $6.9 billion of cash from Congress so that he can spend it on NATO and European defense, Ukraine, Russian aggression, I don't like it. At 6.9, that is cash. That is $6.9 billion of cash for NATO. We've heard about this discussion over the last couple of years where we spend more money on NATO than the other NATO allies do. So I'm really not happy about that. Let's make this very clear. He's not getting it. He has to get bipartisan support. He's not getting $6.9 billion. Now let's turn to Easter. And let's turn to the incredible details of how to prepare for Easter. If you watched yesterday's shows and then you watch today's shows, you may see a new addition. Some purple. Purple orchids are back, baby. Purple orchids are back in. And nothing says Easter better than the Easter tulips, the Easter yellows, and they are in full bloom in the stores. And really go get them right now. Now, here's something I want to go over with you on not only what to buy, but how to keep it in a pleasant environment. It's been cool here in California, but you see the amount of sunlight that's coming on set, and that is a window, it's open. It's been relatively, if the window's closed, it gets a little bit more warm, but it's been very sunny. So let me give you an example of something that is usually sitting behind the pink tulip, excuse me, the purple orchid, and I had to take it out of set for one day because it was looking like it was getting sad. And I watered it and brought it back on set. Brought it back next with me on set. Let me show you what it looks like in the foreground because you may never seen it in the background. Here it is now back in full bloom. So this was usually behind the purple orchid before it was there yesterday. It was really in the upper left corner of the screen. And it was starting to look a little sad. Let me hold it a little close to you. See how upright all the flowers are? Isn't that beautiful? How upright the beautiful flowers are. The flowers were starting to droop. They were about to go horizontal, and some were downturning. So that's an example of what you need to get it away from where it was. So these flowers, which you see are very upright, sort of like my hair sometimes, they were starting to go horizontal or sometimes downhill. Now, on the side, I understand they should be horizontal. This is sort of like a porcupine where they should be horizontal on the side. But on the top, they should be very top. What is this? This is a Citriosus, and it's dripping water on me. Citriosus racemosus. It is a fast-growing evergreen shrub that grows 5 to 6 feet tall and 4 to 5 feet wide. That is huge. Forms a dense mound of tiny green leaves highlighted with massive, fragrant, pea-like bright. And it comes from California. It is grown by Evergrade. It's actually very reasonable. It is yellow. It is yellow. There are, oh my God, that's heavy. There are other versions of it, but the yellow is quite wonderful. Oh, and it just dripped everywhere. I just made a mess on set. Note to self, don't bring wet flowers on set again. So it is absolutely wonderful. Now, here's what you need to know is that there are often deliveries of your favorite flowers, but in different, now we got lots of thistles on the microphone. It was like Tinkerbell was floating on all the microphones. It was just little thistles. We're just making a mess. We're getting thistles. It's a good show. So, what did they tell me when I went to buy the yellow flowers right here? Those yellow flowers were absolutely wonderful, but there were no purple. I said, where's the purple? Because you've seen them on the set before last year. And she said, they're coming next. Interesting. So sometimes when you want a particular hue, they deliver them in different stages because maybe one may bloom first in in the hothouse or the nursery that they're coming from before the other ones come. So the yellows are absolutely quite wonderful. There's some right behind me here. There you are. And there's ones up. Let's get the finger there. There. But the purples are not in the stores yet because the growers haven't harvested them. So very, very fascinating across the board. That is why you have to prepare accordingly. What type of flowers do you like for Easter? Let me jump in the live chat and see some of your questions. First, if you have questions, wow, full room here. Now that I got my hands dried from the wet plant. What questions do you have? And then what do you think are the best Easter meals and the worst Easter meals to have? Have you ever showed up to someone's house and say, is this what you're serving for Easter? Why did you marry him? There is a dragon. It says, looks a little bit like a sage bush. Very pretty. Yeah, it may look a little bit more bushy on camera, but it's actually very, very in full bloom. It really is quite beautiful in full bloom across the board. Let me see some more of the incredible comments in the live chat right now. Let's see what some people are saying. There is Charlotte says, I like to use instant coffee. It's for the Fanny Farmer baking book. It's from the Fanny. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Really interesting. Porcupine hair, brilliant, says Anne. Yeah, it does look like a porcupine. What is that yellow flower called? I read it, but maybe not everyone heard it. That was from Margaret. I don't have the non-generic name, so I don't know the non-generic name, but you can replay this video for back a little bit. Let's see some more of the incredible questions in the live chat. Russian black bread is made with rye flour, sourdough starter, honey, oil, carrot seed, salt, no coffee, says Dragon. Yeah, this one didn't use those recipes. This one did not use that recipe. So if you have questions about any of these similar items, drop in the live chat right now. And what are your favorite Easter meals and your most unfavorite Easter meals? My favorite Easter meal, of course, is lamb or duck. My most unfavorite, I think, would be would probably be turkey. I think it would probably be turkey or casserole. Yeah, casserole. You gave me a casserole. He died on the cross for you to give me a casserole. You need to do penance for giving me a casserole. You threw some beans and some lasagna together, and beans and some pasta, and you gave that to me. I think maybe pasta's the worst. Maybe pasta would be worse for Easter. It's just like you could put a little bit more effort than that in there. That is when numbers are no issue across the board. Wow, we spilled a lot of water on set here. Here's a funny bit which you're going to enjoy. Dragon will know what I'm about to say, but the rest of you, I want to let you in on the bit so you know what's going on, because you may see it or hear it or we'll go over the analysis of it right now, whether you see it or hear it or not. But it is quite funny. This channel has always been the same since day one. Focusing on information, learning the information, applying the information, getting the money, and pouncing to get the money. Let's go over the analysis right across the board. For example, in tonight's Evening's LA, we're going to go over why the issue at hand with the inversion curve, the interest rate inversion curve, is very, very bad news, because some analysts say it signals we're going to recession. Some say they don't think it goes to recession. Either way, you need to understand if we're heading to recession, when are we heading to recession, why we're heading to recession, what is the inversion curve. That is what this channel's always been about, giving you information. Now, if someone jumps into a live chat and says, I don't want to know what the inversion curve is, I just want to know when the check is inverting into my mailbox. I just want to know that check is inverting in my mailbox. Let me go over what's wrong with that. First, if you're just looking for a check to land in your mailbox and you don't want to do any effort to get that check, then guess what? The check's going to arrive, you're going to get it, you're going to spend it, and then 30 days later, you're going to come back to the channel and say, okay, when's the next check? And I'll be like, I don't have another check for you. You got a very small check. I've been having big checks for you. That is where we've always dealt with, focusing on getting big sums of money. Next, anyone who says something like Biden doesn't care or this administration doesn't care, hogwash. Administration has given the viewers this channel on average $45,000 for third stimulus and is now gaining viewers on average $66,000 from fourth stimulus. That's $125,000 across two stimulus packages in less than a year. Administration does care. That money is out there. Anyone who says I shouldn't have to do anything to get a check doesn't understand the landscape. The landscape is that if you want a check that is literally three figures, $600, $800, $900, then don't do anything. And you're going to get $600, and then you're going to go through it with one pump of gasoline at the gas station, and you're done. And you're going to say, where's the next $600 check? If you want $60,000 checks, which will last you potentially an entire year, maybe 2 years, then you need to do something to get the $60,000 check. That's the way it's always been. First stimulus was big checks, big, huge checks, which I got viewers this channel, $25 million of checks. Imagine a channel that's this small at that time, getting $25 million for this many viewers. That's a lot of money per viewer. A lot of money. Average viewer of this channel getting maybe, I don't know, $150,000, $180,000 from first stimulus on this channel. If you want to get the big money, you need to get the big money. And then anyone who sort of reads on this sort of mindset, which is a very unhealthy mindset of no's and no's and no's, they ultimately don't get anything because all they love to say is no. So here's a laugh that you're going to enjoy with me, and Dragon knows where I'm about to go with this. If you were, well, it's obviously, I'm not speaking to you. First of all, I'm not speaking to you because none of the people in the live chat are that person. None of the people in the live chat are the person I'm about to describe to you. But I want to describe to you other types of people out there so you can have a laugh with me. When we were sitting and watching third stimulus become a law last year, and we were focusing on the big checks, and then let's say it became a law, and we learned there's a $1,400 check in there. And someone may have said in third stimulus in 2021, it's only $1,400. They don't care. And I would have said, hey, there's $45,000 of checks in third stimulus I can get you. Stay with me. I'm going to go over all the checks and the viewers to get it. And that person was very mean and angry. Block, gone. So that viewer was unable to comment. Then when fourth stimulus came around, started heating up in 2021. And then they said, I don't think they're ever going to pass it. And one of my most unfavorite lines is when they jump in the live chat and says, let me ask the room, who thinks that a fourth stimulus check is coming? Me. I think it's coming because it already has come. What do you mean it's already come? I asked my neighbor, he hasn't gotten it. And it's not in Mississippi, southeast corner, next to Joe's grocery store. They don't have checks there. It's just always a strange town, but there's no check in my town. Yeah, there's a check in your town. You just haven't checked on the check. So guess what happened? Ban. Viewers ban. So when does this get really quite hysterical or strange or bizarre or whatever you want to use the adjective for? That person who through all 2021 said there was no money for third stimulus. There was. And now viewers are getting monthly stimulus checks averaging $2,000 a month for 12 months. And then they said then that same person who said there was never going to be a fourth stimulus check, then realized that there is now $15,000 to $80,000. It's landing in 7 days after you apply. Suddenly, after being Mr. Incorrect, Mr. Troll, Mr. Negative, Mr. whatever you want to call for a year or a year and a half, comes back and says, you know what? I want those checks now. I want those checks now. So I want to become a member. So let's become a member now that I've driven everyone crazy for 2 years. I've driven everyone crazy for 2 years. I've been banned here, banned there, banned there. I'm going to come back and I'm going to come in front of all of you in line and try to get that $80,000 fourth stimulus check from the homeowners grant. I'm going to become a member. I'm going to get that newsletter. I'm going to open the newsletter Monday through Friday, and I'm going to get that check. And guess what? After I drove you crazy for 2 years, I'm going to get in a line and get that MSC check, that $2,000 a month for averaging 12 months. I'm going to get that MSC check, and I'm going to get that membership. I'm going to sign up a member. I'm going to become a member. I'm going to get that newsletter. I'm going to open it up at Monday through Friday, 7 p.m., and I get that big money. And guess what happens? The newsletter comes. Well, they get the alert about the newsletter. They click it, and they get a monkey. Got a monkey? What do you mean I got a monkey? Why do I get a monkey and everyone else in this live chat right now is not getting a monkey? Wait a second, what's going on? Why am I getting a monkey and Ann doesn't get a monkey? Charlotte doesn't get a monkey. Dragon doesn't get a monkey. Diane doesn't get a monkey. None of these people get a monkey. Pamela doesn't get a monkey. Why are all these people getting a monkey? Margaret doesn't get a monkey. Why are these people not getting a monkey and I'm getting a monkey? Because ultimately the monkey had the last laugh. You drove everyone crazy for 2 years with all your negativity or false facts, you're banned, 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 banned. And then when you hear that there's checks for fourth stimulus and third MSC, you figure, I'm going to sign up and become a member. Guess what? You're banned from the channel. You're banned. So you can become a member, but you're going to get this member benefits because you've now been banned. That's why you don't do these things. That is why you don't go on the road of false facts, negative facts, false pessimism, not focusing, going after fellow viewers, blemishing the record, just making everything negative. Because guess what? When it's time and place for the money is available, you're getting a monkey. Meantime, don't be a monkey. Tune into Afternoons LA. It's coming up at 1 o'clock. The show will automatically take you there next. And then we have a brand new Afternoons LA show at 3 o'clock. Then we have a big new Evenings LA at 5 o'clock. Don't miss it. A lot of breaking news and certainly about all this information. Can you see how much a little bit is wet because the flower? This is tonight's Evenings LA, folks. So you don't want to miss it. It's 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you've not gotten these checks and you're not a member, become a member today. The link is at the top of the chat and the pinned comment. Become a member, get that big money from third stimulus and fourth stimulus, and get ready for all the other stimulus packages before that. The routing times featured already early in this video. If you joined in late to the video, replay it to the very beginning. And with that, always stay informed, always stay focused, always stay motivated, always stay on fact, always stay inspirational. Get that Easter meal ready. Home Edition returns daily at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll go over what else to do for that Easter on tomorrow's show. Stay informed, stay focused, stay here, always stay motivated, always stay ready to pounce, and always ready to get your money, whether it's day, night, or evening. It's here across the board, and the money never stops, and I never stop with you. It's daily on this channel, and the excitement continues morning, night, and day on LA.